Yes.
We are live.
Good morning, good morning.
What you got for
Good
me?
afternoon, good afternoon.
What you got for me today, man?
Sometimes it's morning, sometimes it's afternoon, depending on where you're at in the country. Where are you in the country? Let us know. City and state, guys. Where you guys at? City, state, and what's
Appreciate
the weather?
you. Today we are trying to help you get a house in 2024. Is it a good idea to buy? What are the interest rates? What's going on with the market? Do you have a challenging escrow that you need help with? If you have a challenging escrow that you need help with, we'll help you.
Yeah, I'll give you an example, guys. So I'm talking with the client yesterday. They were in escrow, VA loan, down in San Diego, California. And last minute, lender said no. Lender
Love
said
San
no.
Diego.
San Diego's amazing. I don't have the file built out yet, but they got a second chance. So let's see if we can make this work. If you're in the same spot, let us know. So you're here because you need answers to mortgages, programs, how to get a home loan, what are interest rates, what FICO score do you need, how much down payment, what programs for first-time home buyers, what do you can do for investors, what if you want to buy a second home, what if you want to move across country. Let us know all your questions. Load up the chat box. We'll get to every single one of you.
What's a DSCR rate? What's a DSCR rate?
10s. 9
You
to
got
10.
tens? You got tens? I got
Yeah.
9. I got 9 3/4 not that long ago. So,
Did somebody ask that?
we always get that question.
Kel Simic, how did you see that Dixie wrecked? How did you see that Dixie wrecked?
Kel,
Well played, Kel. I'm not going to say it again. Well
Kel's
played,
one of
Kel.
those guys, huh?
Or girl, who
Ah,
knows?
Kel.
Who knows?
Kel.
Blew you a kiss, man. He liked you.
Not only did he bring that up and put it out of his brain, he kissed it after he was done.
I read it twice.
Yeah, you did.
I read it twice.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
Well
you
played.
did.
I'm not upset. Well played. But do you have any mortgage questions? You want to buy a house? Have you ever bought a house?
Yeah, come on. What do we got? What do we got going on in the big bad world? Interest rates, they gone up again. We got alerts. We get alerts whenever they're going up a little bit. And right now, 15 years still coming in at 6% flat, 6%. And APR is coming in at 6.5. For those of you who don't know, if there's a wide spread between your interest rate and your APR, that means there's costs in there that you have to decipher.
Yep.
That's the whole point of APR. That's why they made it a law, so that somebody can look at an interest rate and then go, is that the real interest rate? Look at the APR and go, there's some costs in there. Why is that APR and the interest rate such a far spread? Good way to understand things if you understand it. And we're here to help you understand it. What do you got, man?
Yeah, so guys, remember, load up the chat box. See questions about home loans, how to buy a house, what programs, what FICO score do you need, what's the down payment you need, can I go zero down? And let us know where you're at, city and state. And the questions are pouring in. We are going to get to every single one of you. So make sure that you hang tight. We're going to call out your name. We're going to answer your question. And load up those likes, guys. We need to hit 10,000 today. I've been trying this for about 2 weeks now. We haven't hit 10,000 yet. Let's see if you're the group that gets us there. Let's start with Bree Guy.
What's up, Bree Guy? Great
Can
to
I-
see you.
Can I do a $275,000 mortgage with income of $75,000, $17K down, $11K in closing costs, no debt, 671 FICO?
Bree Guy, let me break that down for you. 275 with 75K. You're right in the wheelhouse. That's with the income. Debt to income ratio is good. You're 17K down. If you're doing FHA, that's more than enough. If you're doing conventional, that's more than enough. 11K in closing costs seems a little bit high for 275, just a little high, but not a lot high. You'd have to see why. Could be closing in an off month, or your property tax base is very high. No debt, 671 FICO. I'd say, yeah. Hopefully your LO, because you know a lot of technicals right there. Good for you on knowing the technicals. Hopefully your LO is guiding you through this. If you need another LO to take a look, Send us an LE. We'll get on it.
Good job, Bree. Doc AG1, first time buyer, combined income 120. I'm assuming 620 Vantage score, 40K debt.
Doc, first thing you need to do is take that 620 Vantage score, put it in a shelf somewhere, and then don't ever bring it up again because nobody cares. Yeah, the mortgage industry uses FICO. Using Vantage is cute, but it's not real. So here's the rule in the mortgage industry. The bank has to pull your credit. You can't go off somebody else's credit. It has to be an authentic mortgage pull, and us loan officers have to be approved by the bank to pull your credit because there has to be a chain. So when we pull your credit, that's your authentic credit score. Whatever you saw on Vantage is cute. It might help you as a reference. Whatever you saw on freecreditreport.com or MyCredit or whatever the heck app you use, that's cute, but it's not real. You need the real credit score, and from there we can go forward.
All right. All Texas 84, credit challenged, 560 but have proof of funds, 250,000. Will a lender work with poor credit with that much down? Damn it!
You didn't do it. Dude, I even told you.
It doesn't matter what you say.
I know, man.
Give me 1 second, guys.
Yeah, we have a problem. We have Houston. We have a problem.
All right, we're back.
Okay, so credit challenge, 560 POF at 250K. Will maybe all Texas. See, here's the thing with FICO scores. You have a 560 because you did something. You don't accidentally get a 560. You did something. You didn't pay somebody back. You defaulted on a debt. You BK'd. You didn't pay child support. Whatever you did something. And if you did something recently, then the bank says, hey, this person is doing something recently. Yeah, they say, hey. So with that much down, if your POF is cute, but how much are you willing to put down? If you're willing to put all $250,000 down, and you have a $350,000 purchase price, so you're borrowing $100,000, then you might be able to make that happen. You might be able to make that happen. The FHA guidelines say at 500 and above, I need 10% or more down. You're claiming 10% or more, unless you're trying to buy like a $2.5 million property, in which case you don't have a chance. Hope that answers your question.
That being said, you can get approved for something. Give us a call. Yeah. Time for a commercial.
If you need a badass loan, call Badass Loan Officer. You can reach your badass loan officers, Chris and Lee at New American Funding, by dialing the numbers on the screen. They will help you even if you're in a bad situation. They will help you. Screenshot, it's going to disappear in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bye.
Boom. Or if you're ready to get started, go to the link in the bio, click on apply for a home loan now. Dakota Bradshaw, I wish I used you guys as my lender. Use Lennar. It's been okay, just a mess.
Yeah. I wish you used us too, Dakota, because Lennar builds great houses, man. I've been in a lot of Lennar houses. They got this stuff dialed. Their houses the layouts are good, the design is beautiful, and they know how to wring every dollar out of you without you even knowing it. That's the problem, is they know how to wring it out of you without you even knowing it.
Sucks.
Yeah, and they don't want you to have your own loan officer, and they don't want you to have your own realtor. Because if you do, then you have representation outside of them, and they don't get to have the only influence on you. So I wish you to use us too, but nonetheless, we are very happy you're getting a house.
Here's what I do know is that when rates come down, you're going to refinance, Dakota. So I hope you screenshot this because we're going to get you the best deal possible when the time comes. Mike, Turbo, thank you for the love. Mike, I have $250 left on my student loans. I want to pay it off before buying a house.
$250?
Everyone needs goals, man.
Yeah, you got
Should I?
You got big goals.
I know it hurts the credit score.
Here's what you should do, Mike. It's pretty simple. Get a hold of us. Let us run your credit. Let us look at that $250, and you might need it as a trade line. What you're talking about is an installment payment. At the end of an installment payment, because I'm done paying, it says, hey, you did good, but this no longer benefits you. It's now neutral. And if you have other things that benefit you, then you stay the same. But if you have nothing else, then you lost the trade line. And your credit score could go down. Ooh. So that could happen.
Yeah.
The way we find out, pull your credit, make it happen.
Yeah, so load up the chats. We're going to ask your questions. We're going to get to every one of you. Jay, can you use an FHA and a VA loan?
Jay, very good question. So here's the answer, but it's an asterisk. Before we even start, it's an asterisk. Okay? Yes, that's the answer. But here's the asterisk. Those are both government loans. And let me answer a different way. Can you use a VA loan and get another VA loan? The answer is yes, with an asterisk. There's a lot of qualifying situations. Can you have an FHA loan and get another FHA loan? The answer is yes, with an asterisk, in a lot of qualifying situations. So, can you use a VA and an FHA? Yes, but there's some qualifying stuff because it's government. That's a government program, and it's at underwriter discretion. So, if it makes sense, how would it make sense? Okay, so I live in Florida and I got a job in Florida. I'm doing great in Florida. I'm an engineer. And then all of a sudden my job closes its parent plant in Florida and moves me to Austin, Texas, and I don't have a choice. Well, I have an FHA loan. All right, cool. Only, all right, FHA loan. Cool. I rent it out, but I have the VA ability. Now I move to Texas and I say, hey, I need a VA loan. Well, we're going to go, okay, there's an FHA loan here. But why? Well, because my company closed us down and moved us to Austin. Okay, that's a forcible thing that I need a new primary residence for. In that situation, I probably will get that through to an underwriter. However, if you're just trying to build your investment portfolio, probably not.
No. User 6213. Our seller pays regardless if you use their preferred lender or your chosen one. Is our seller a builder? And if so, city and state. User 8306. How hard is it to get seller to drop the price?
It's going to depend on the market and the realtor. Let me tell you what happens in the real estate world. This really happens, okay? There's your really good realtors, and they go in to compete because everybody's like, hey, I'm going to get top dollar for my house. Fair market value, $500,000. Okay, cool. So the first experienced realtor walks in and says, hey, I can sell your house all day long for $500,000, all day long. And the seller says, I want 580. That's it, 580. So the experienced realtor says, this is not going to be good. Tell you what, I'll list it at 580, and if it doesn't work, then we go down to 550, then we go to 500 where I really think it's going to sell. Seller says, no, it's not going to happen. Okay, cool. So that's your experienced realtor. Experienced realtor says, hey, if you need me, I'll be here. Call me if you need me. Now you get your brand new, inexperienced realtor who doesn't know shit. And they just need a listing. Oh my God, they need that listing. Holy smokes, they need that listing. So they go into that presentation. They don't even know what the market value is. The seller says, hey, I want 580. The brand new realtor, desperate to get business, says, yes, I will take that listing at 580. And the client says, do you really think it's going to sell? The realtor's like, I'm going to do everything I can. And they really are. They really are. But the market's the market. And it's not going to change because you have a very happy realtor to have a listing. So now here's what happens. Here's the natural course. So now that house is listed for 580. And opening weekend, nobody cares because it's 500. Everybody in the market knows the market. Experienced realtors know what the market is. But it's listed for 580. 30 days later, it's now got DOM, days on the market, of 30 days still listed at 580. And the seller's going, how come we don't get any bites? Well, because you're not at the market. You're dealing with an inexperienced, stupid realtor. Naive or stupid? Probably both. Yeah, probably both. Anyway, so now 60 days goes and now the seller's pissed. My realtor sucks. They don't get me anybody. Why? Because they took the listing because they were desperate for business. They should have never taken that listing in the first place. Boom, that's what happened. So, in that situation, if that seller goes, hey, listen, I really need to sell this house. That original realtor said 500 grand. I'm going to sell it to 500 grand. Will you drop the price? I'll drop the price in order to move. How likely is that to happen? Yeah, probably going to happen in that scenario. However, if that listing agent is a good listing agent, they actually know the market, the odds on that dropping significantly, not so great. But in this market, doable. Doable because if you have an experienced realtor who says, hey, the market is 500 grand. That's what it is. Cool. And the average turn time is 60 days. All right. Well, then now you get an offer 20 days after you list it. And the offer says, hey, listen, I'll give you your full price, but I want you to cover closing costs. That's about a $10,000 ask. And another way of cutting it up is to say, hey, I want you to reduce your price $10,000. That's another way of cutting it up. Will they do it? In this market, likely yes. As soon as interest rates go down, will they do it? No. Not if it's truly priced, because you will have an ascending market. Right now we have a flat market, some cases descending, some cases a bit ascending, but it's a true clean market. So how hard is it to get the seller to drop the price? There's a lot of factors. I hope I helped you out.
There you go. Tipsy Toes. Is this the new Dave Ramsey show?
Dave Ramsey. I'm not a fan of Dave Ramsey. I mean, he's got some good advice.
I don't even see him.
I suppose.
Unless you're Dave Ramsey.
No, you look like him, except you're brown.
Okay. And
you have
tall
a hat.
and handsome.
There's all that going. You talk eloquently.
But the fact,
and there's logic in your words.
The fact that he said show makes me proud. We got a show, man. We've done
Somebody
it.
validated us. Yes, your dad loves you.
No, so this is
No,
what
he
we're
doesn't.
doing. We're not
No, he doesn't. No, you see how fast that was? That was subliminal.
How do you know?
I don't know.
Are you my daddy?
No, I'm
right.
not.
I was going to go for
Absolutely
child
not.
support, man.
Yeah, no,
Where's
no,
my
no.
allowance? Anyway, so Dave Ramsey actually does give advice. I don't know if we necessarily give advice. We give factual information of what's going on in the market and guidelines. So, like, what's down payment on an FHA? 3.5%. What's the minimum FICO score? 580. What's the highest you can go on ratios? 56.99. So these are actual guidelines. So if you're looking for a home loan, this is the place to be to get the information and get your loan. And if you're interested, go ahead and screenshot that Tipsy Toes and get you a home loan.
And we are the guys in the arena. We actually do loans every single day. We are always working on scenarios. This is not guesswork for us. We don't have to run back and ask our manager every single time. You know, occasionally we check a guideline just to make sure we know what we're talking about, but we know what we're talking about.
All Texas 84, spot on.
Spot. Oh, dude, you okay? Somebody call CPR. Somebody call CPR. What's the number to CPR?
You gonna try to take me away from my dad again?
I'm gonna take you away from your dad.
Spot on. Thanks, fellas. You got it all.
Appreciate
Texas.
you. I don't know what all Texas you're referring to, but I appreciate you very, very much.
Answer this question. Lachelle something really wanted to buy a house. I have a FICO of 747 and an income of $67,000. No debt.
60. I think you're asking how much can you buy, and you're probably in the 280 to 300 range.
Not only
280
is she
to
asking,
300 range.
can she buy? Where does she start?
No, starting is easy. Starting is easy. Hey, what you do is you take your phone and you get ready to screenshot, because in about 5 seconds, you're going to have to screenshot something, okay? That was a forecast. That was a pre-frame. And 5 seconds is up. Screenshot that. That's all the time you had. And now, when we're done with the live, call one of us. Either one of us. Sometimes he's busy. Sometimes I'm busy. You'll get a hold of one of us. I actually sometimes call back after he's talked. And I'm like, hey, is Lee calling you back? I already talked to Chris. All right, you don't have to sound so disappointed. Anyway.
Whoville hater back. What are they?
Whoville, dude, I dig this name. How can you hate Cindy Lou Who? Cindy, do you know who Cindy Lou Who is?
Yeah.
From The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, dude. That was Whoville.
Yeah,
There's actually a.
It was written by
it's
a
in
doctor.
Disneyland, is it?
Zeus.
Yeah, I think it's in Disneyland. There's a Whoville in Disneyland.
I don't know, man.
Anyway, so what are the HELOC rates now for 720 FICO? He quoted one yesterday at 8, but I don't know if it had a 720 FICO. Did it? No, not at 8. At 10. At 10.
No,
HELOC at 10.
No, that was the DSCR.
Oh, DSCR 10.
Yeah. So
HELOC,
yeah, it's going to be
HELOC.
in the 8 range.
Maybe 9s.
It's not attractive.
Yeah. 8s or 9s. It's not pretty. It's never going to be pretty. Second mortgages, HELOCs, those are never pretty interest rates.
Yeah. Are you guys starting to use FICO 10?
No.
What do you think about get on someone else's trade line and increase your credit?
Whoville hater, I think that's a very wise thing, but here's a few caveats. One, the person that you're now for those who don't know what Whoville hater is talking about. Here's what I do. Hey, I would like to increase my credit score. It is now 680 and is not going up. How do I get my credit score up quickly? Here's the answer. You need to have 10 years of good on-time payments. Well, how do I get 10 years of on-time payments today? Can I do that? Well, we got a secret hack. You go to mommy or daddy and you say, hey, mommy or daddy, thank you. All right, cool. I know you have an 800 FICO score and you've been paying your credit cards on time for the last 20 years. I need your help, Dad. Why, son, what would you like for me to do? I would like for you to add me as a owner or authorized user on one of your credit cards that you have been paying on time in order to get that 800 FICO. Why, son, what are you going to do with this card? Dad, I'm not going to do nothing with this card. I'm not going to do nothing. In fact, when it comes in the mail, we'll cut it up right there. I'm never going to use it, never once. I just need to borrow your 10 years of on-time payment. But I authentically need to be a authorized user or owner. Between you and me, Dad, I'm not going to use it. I mean, I could legally, but I'm not going to. That's my word to you. Why, son, I will do anything I can to help you if it costs me no money.
That's a good father.
I know. yeah.
I didn't have one of those.
As long as it costs me no money, I'm willing to do anything that I need to in order to help you. So, Dad, will you call the bank? Yep. Bank calls and like, hey, Mr. Joe Smith, we're going to have to do a credit pull in order to do this. What? Credit
really
pull?
crying.
Yes. You're crying?
I think it's real.
It's a real. We just have to just some Freudian emotions. He's like, I don't need my dad. I needed him. So anyway, so that's adding yourself to somebody else's trade line. But you have to make sure that they have an 800 FICO and they made their payments on time. Because we've actually had people add themselves to their mom or dad and they have a lower FICO and their FICO goes down. Because you adopt whatever they've done for the last 10 years. Anyway, boom.
Fennec Real Estate, thank you for the love. Vanilla Ice Cream, thank you for the love. Vanilla Ice Cream follows us, man. The most well-known ice cream in the world.
Dude, it's Vanilla Ice.
Follows us.
What?
Thank you for the love.
Shit.
Fennec Real Estate told
Word
you
to your
hater.
mother. Anyway.
Good question. Rachel Shaw, what does DTI have to be?
What does DTI have to be? Good question, Rachel Shaw. Hey, by the way, if you guys are realtors, we appreciate you. If you're loan officers, we appreciate you. Don't hide. I want you in. I'm not shooting at you. Hey, I might be able to help you get a client or answer a question in the process. DTI, what does it have to be? I'm going to go with what it can be, the limits, okay? So, DTI is debt to income ratio. The most liberal of all the lending programs is probably going to be VA. And at VA, I've actually funded loans with 72% DTI. But that's a high income earner and they meet the residual. So that's VA and that's an anomaly. On FHA, the guideline says I can go to 56.999, right? 56.999 on FHA. That's a perfect scenario and that's maxing it. That's red line. But that's a lot. It's a lot. On conventional, it used to be 35-45. 35 for PITI, 45 for PITI plus revolving debt. They moved it to about 50, and I can go to 50.999, correct? I'm just double checking with my business partner here because
Conventional?
Conventional.
49.999.
49.99999. 49.99999. And conventional is a more strict loan program. Conventional is Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. FHA is obviously FHA. VA is VA. So those are the different DTIs, and ideally you'd like to have your mortgage payment 1/3 of your income, ideally, but that doesn't usually happen.
Not realistic in California. Yeah. And Fennec, thank you for that. And at your advice, he said, guys, please share this. Please share our feed, because the more that you share, the more exposure we get, the more answers we can get to the world, which helps everyone. We're kind of a community, and keep punching that screen. We need hearts. We need to get to 10,000. We're only at 600 right now, it looks like. So please help us get there. On to the next person, Mary Ann. How much money should you have in your account when you send your bank statements?
Well, Mary Ann, as much as you can, but don't let it stop you. I have funded many loans with 1 month reserve. Many over my career, 1 month reserve. What is a reserve, you ask? Good question. I'm really glad you knew to ask that, Marianne, because it's a very pertinent question. Reserve is PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance on the mortgage that you're applying for. So let's just say it's $3,000 a month. That's what you're going to have to pay PITI. Well, if you had a great FICO score, good income, good solid working history, all of that good stuff, but I only had $3,000 in the bank, but you had the income, so I can go with a zero down program, then I can get you in a zero down program and get you in the house with 1 month reserve. Is it an anomaly? Yes, it's an anomaly. Is it so anomaly that's like lottery anomaly? No. It's like, hey, I can make it happen. Yeah, sometimes, not all the time. So as much as you possibly can in the bank statement, but as low as 1 month PITI. You agree with that?
Well, yes. If you're ready to move right now, but I'll tell you this right now. I advise everyone to get pre-qualified, even if they're just interested in buying a house, because it lets them know where they stand. A lot of people don't have the cash saved. They're like, Chris, it's going to be 6 months to a year until I buy anyway. You can send in bank statements with zero balances. It doesn't mean you're going to get a house today, but it does let you know where you stand. So we can pre-qualify you with nothing just so you know where you stand. Blanca Hernandez, what do you predict with the market this year, rates and prices of homes?
I'm about to use my prediction, but my prediction isn't my prediction. I'm going to use his prediction. See how I put him right over
Is that Uncle Sam?
What? No, it's not.
Cousin
Sam.
Vinny?
Not Cousin Vizzy.
Oh, man.
This is Jerome Powell, chairman of the Federal Reserve. Why? What is the Federal Reserve, you ask? The Federal Reserve is 12 members that dictate our financial policy. Well, what does the Federal Reserve say? The Federal Reserve says that, these are all public information, by the way, that right now we should be at 5.5/5.25 on the Fed funds rate. That's where we're at. And in their SEP, they've actually said, hey, we anticipate cutting rates 3 times in calendar year 2024. That has not changed, even though the data has come in not so favorable. That is still what they said, and we will know on May 1st if they change that. But as it stands, the Federal Reserve, which is Jerome Powell, yay, he says that we anticipate 3 interest rate reductions in calendar year 2024. But as you see, these are all 12 members, and they don't all agree. They're all across the board. But around the end of 26, beginning of 27, they come to a consensus at 2.5, which means we anticipate interest rates are going to be going down for the next 2 to 2.5 years. Will they go down at my desired speed? Probably not, because I'd already want it to go down. Why? Because this business is a tough business. It's a very tough business. At 5.25 and 5.5, it's a very tough business. I'll tell you what, once it gets down to 2.5, it will not be such a tough business. The only toughness will be, how big should we get our staff? We need more loan officers. We need more loan officer assistants. We need more marketing people. Oh my God, I can't keep up. We're funding so many loans. That actually happens, but it's not right now. So what do I think? I am just a good old lonely loan officer who listens to this guy, who is not just him, because I would be scared if it was just one person. It's 12 of the smartest financial people on the planet dictating the U.S. economy, which affects the global economy. And what they are saying is that interest rates are going to be going down. Now, are they going down at my speed that I'd like? No. No.
Why not?
No. Because I want them to be down lower so more people can buy houses so I can make more commission.
Ooh.
I mean, just right there, just so I can make more
That
commission.
part.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't think they're cutting in May. I don't think so. I don't think there's a snowball's chance. Nobody thinks they're cutting in May. I don't think they're cutting in June. I do think they're cutting in September. So there's that.
Right on. Mike, thank you for the love. V, thank you for the love. No Soup for You. Isn't that a movie?
That's
Soup for You.
no, that's Seinfeld. The Soup Nazi. The Soup Nazi in New York.
Okay.
It was this thing where they would literally have restaurants that are so good they could go. I don't want you in my restaurant.
You know,
No Soup
Seinfeld,
for You.
I like Seinfeld as a stand-up comedian,
Uh-huh.
but I never got into the show.
Me neither.
It's a
to me,
freaking
yeah.
banger, though.
Yeah.
Everyone loved it. He says Dave Ramsey advice is outdated.
I think so. I don't think it was ever super great, but just having some kind of structure is good.
Yeah, I think it's good for like
Yeah.
the 18, 20-year-old.
Yeah, paying off credit card. His idea,
Yeah.
his advice there is good. Buying a house, not so much.
Donna Bradley, can you share the VA 30-year rate today?
Donna Bradley, you asked a very scary question. That's the third rail. Nobody wants to tell you what the rate is because they're afraid to quote you
And
rate.
no one knows what the third rail is either.
Yeah, the third rail is, that's New York. Dude, if you're from New York, you know what the third rail is. Anyway, so Donna Bradley, this is not a quote to you. It is a quote that New American Funding is putting out to the rest of the world. It is 6.25%. Wow. In order to get your rate, I would have to pull your credit, calculate your income, pick up your assets, and quote you your rate. But if you went to New American Funding website right now, and you can do that by going to the links on our profile, cool stuff, today's rates, and you have 6.25 on the VA rates right now.
Yeah, Lachelle, you're very welcome. Donnell Shaw, I'm like the whole biker gang on my head too.
All right.
I'm like
I
the
don't-
whole biker gang. I'm like, okay.
Donnell, I
don't
you
know what
gotta,
that means.
you gotta clean that up, man. I don't know what that means, but we're here to help you get a house. I don't know if you're a biker gang and you want to get a house, I still have to pull your credit. I still have to check your income.
He's like, what if my gang shows
Yeah,
up?
what if my gang shows up? That's cute. I still got to pull your credit. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I got to check your income.
Marianne, what do you look for in bank statements?
Okay, that's a very good question. Marianne, I think you're a realtor. I really do. Or a loan officer, one of the two. So here's what we look for. First off, we want to know, does it make sense? Okay? So like if we just see all of a sudden there's like $11,000 in cash dropped in, why that doesn't make sense. Unless you're a very big CEO and you're buying a $3 million house and that's your normal way of doing things. But if it's just 11 grand and you're a nurse making 80 grand a year, why that doesn't make sense. Let's look at that. Oh, wow, you're paying something out. Where you're sending it to another bank account that we don't know about. That doesn't make sense. So we have to look and say, all right, who owns that other bank account that we don't know about? Oh, it's your corporation's bank account? Oh, we didn't know about the corporation. Wait a minute. We need to know about the corporation. So what we're looking at is anomalies. People think we're just looking for the balance. The balance is like, that's a 101. Yeah. Hey, you got 12 grand in there. Okay, cool. Got it. That's it. But we're not just looking at that. We want to know, hey, what are you spending all your money on? It could be that you buy purple popsicles every Friday. We don't care. That's America. You
Are
can
they
do
on
that.
sale?
They could be on sale. Maybe you buy them when they're not on sale, and that's the problem.
Ooh.
Yeah, that could be the problem. What we look for is your spending habits and any large deposits or large out and strange accounts that just don't make sense. We're looking for things that don't make sense.
I'm looking at a lot of TJ Maxx and Marshalls.
What?
You're a shopper. Also, what they're looking for, I want to kind of add to that. Okay, Afterpay. These Afterpay programs that where you go, you're on an app and you buy, I don't know, flowers, and it says instead of paying $80 right now, you can make 3 easy payments of this. Those can affect the DTI ratio. So pay those off or don't do them, guys. Just pay it all up front. Second thing, IRS payments.
Oh, wait, what?
IRS payments. A lot of this isn't always disclosed, guys, and we'll find them on your bank statements, and all of a sudden the loan's not going to work. So disclose your IRS debt and child support. So child support being automatically paid out, or coming in. Sometimes we don't even know that you're receiving it, and that's usable for buying a house. So just be careful of your bank statements. That's the kind of things that we're looking for.
Donna Bradley, 800 FICO, great income VA loan, 2 days rate. JY, I'm going to guess JY is a loan officer. That's my guess. Hey, JY, we appreciate you very much. JY is saying 6.5. That's what he's saying. But I'm telling you, I can't give you your actual quote till I pull your credit, calculate your income, and determine your assets. But I can tell you that New American Funding is quoting 6.25 right now on the website. Don't believe me? JY. Go up to the links at the top. Go to cool stuff, today's rates. You will see the rates that I am talking about right now.
Fennec, thank you for the love, sharing the video. JY also said it could cost him his credit if his kid is irresponsible.
That's correct, JY. He's talking about that, adding
JY's
somebody.
an LO.
Yeah, JY is an LO. You're right. JY, you're correct. That's why in my story I said, why, other ever-loving Father, I am not going to use this. And I also said, but he could legally because he's now an owner and authorized user. You are correct, JY. That's very wise advice.
Yep.
Habanero 589. Habanera 89. Laughing. We're here for you guys.
Female chili.
JY, you guys got great energy. Love it. Appreciate you too, JY. Appreciate
man.
you. If you're still making it in the mortgage business, good man, props. Respect to you. Respect.
Dude,
it's a tough business right now.
Whoville Hater's a realtor.
Oh,
I've been a realtor
Whoville
for
Hater.
15 years and figure I give some good questions. Never sold management only.
Okay, Whoville Hater, we are here for
He
you.
loves your name.
And then hit us with the toughest shit you can, man. We like the tough stuff, like the easy stuff, like what's the minimum FHA FICO score? Well, that's easy. Everybody knows 580. That's it. That's a simple. It's simple. But hit me with stuff like rough, like the toughest stuff you can, and I'll get it.
We got a lot of questions, guys. We're going to get to every single one of you. Henry, I hear Vegas has the highest foreclosures rates in the United States.
Can you confirm? Henry, I can tell you that I hear the same thing you hear, but unless I go to the data, I cannot tell you exactly what it is. But I do hear there's a lot of foreclosures in Vegas. But I want to tell you something. And Henry, this is very important for you to listen to.
No, it's
Loan
alpha.
officer.
It's alpha.
Alpha. Okay, sorry. Alpha. No,
it's
it's Henry.
Henry.
Dude,
Oh,
you're
they're
messing
talking
me
to
up.
each other.
Dude, I'm having a conversation
Both
here.
of you.
Are you guys talking to each other during my conversation? What the heck is going on? Hey, here's what's going on. So a lot of people, the ones who scare you, because that's how you get click. You get clicks by scaring people. You scare them. Ooh, creepy stuff. So you actually have to put, I say, percentage without perspective is bullshit. What does that mean? Well, people are saying, hey, listen, foreclosures are up 200%. Yeah, but if you take a 20-year span out and you go, okay, how high were foreclosures at the height? Call it 10,000 a month. That's not exact, but 10,000 a month. Okay? How high were they in 2022? Well, they were 200 a month. All right. Why? Because there was a foreclosure moratorium. But as soon as the foreclosure moratorium went away, it went up 300% to 600. But that's not near 10,000. And then if it goes all the way up to 1,000, they go, hey, foreclosures are up 500% in the last 3 years. That's not a lie. It's the truth. But if you go to that 10,000 number, it's not even close to what it was. Not even close. But that's not how you get people to click and read your stories. You need to scare them. You need to go spooky, scary. Foreclosures are up 500%. And then everybody walks around going, hey, did you hear foreclosures are up 500%? They're up 500%, 500. Before you know it, everybody's spitting this out, and it's scary. But it's a lot of bullshit if you back up far enough and you go, hey, yeah, it's still not a lot.
Yep. Alpha said, more to come, to be continued.
Yep,
We shall
I do.
see.
I don't know about I don't think so, Alpha. I don't think that it's going to be ridiculous. I think there's going to be foreclosures because the jobs is not what you think it is. However, if you did the math on what people's interest rates are and how much equity they have in the house, because remember, in order to foreclose on the house, it has to be a better move than you selling it. Because if you sell it and you make 300 grand in equity, you're going to sell it. And that's actually going to create a market. Although it's a forced market, it's still a market. And if somebody's got $300,000 in equity, they're not going to foreclose. They're going to sell because foreclosure is going to cost them all the money in legal fees.
Yep, and hang in there, guys. We're going to get to every single question. We're going to call your name. We're going to answer
Dude, we got a lot of people following us. That's
Yes.
great.
CE, CD, Bobagello,
Lucinda.
Izzy-ish, Wally. Thank you all for the love.
Yeah,
Do me a
we've been
favor.
followed. We got followers like crazy. We appreciate you very much. I'm trying to give you that energy.
And punch that screen, man. We need those likes. We're at 1,000. We need to get to 10,000. User 2240. Hey, I make $71,000 a year, have 740 credit score, and $8,000 in debt. How much can I afford?
Well, it's going to depend on a lot your property tax base, where you live in the country. I'll give you an example. I have a house in Texas. I have a house in California. I do a lot of loans in Texas, a lot of loans in California. In California, the tax base, the norm we put in is 1.25. I'll give you numbers what that translates to in a minute. In Texas, 2.1, which is almost double that. So let's say I get a $500,000 house and I put 1.25 in. That's going to be probably an extra $200 a month in your payment, maybe $300. So we're somewhere in that range. But if I go to Texas, that's going to be $400, $500, could be as much as $600 depending on where you're is. And the more your property tax base eats you, the less your buying power. However, if you're going with the 1.25 tax base, I'd say you start cracking the industry at about 300 grand, somewhere in that neighborhood, 300 grand. Would you agree with that? Yeah, 300 grand. Yeah,
easy.
Hi, friends. Tony Bowes says,
Tony
what's
Bowes in the house.
Tony Bowes. We appreciate you, Tony.
Louisa Pearson. What are some reasons I would get denied for an FHA loan?
Oh, we're about to go down a path, Larissa. Oh. So, if you had a foreclosure, guess what? 1 year ago, denied. No FHA loan for you. Nope, denied. If you don't make enough money, denied. If you have child support that exceeds your DTI ratios, denied. If you already have another FHA loan, denied. If you have another primary residence and you are not changing to your primary residence, denied. You got more?
Yeah, if you don't disclose proper information like marriage, depending if you're a community property state, if you didn't disclose you have IRS debt, if you didn't disclose that you have child support payments. So that all goes to debt to income ratio, but yeah.
Denied.
You have to be
Denied,
honest.
yeah.
So here's the thing, guys. We are not the ones saying approved or denied. We are the ones that package it and have seen so many of these files that goes, you could buy a house or you can't buy a house. And here's your advice on how to buy a house. It's the underwriter, okay? So if you disclose to us the right information and then we get the file to underwriting, you're going to get the house. You're going to get the house.
Yeah.
But it has to be the correct data. We're kind of like your attorneys that work for you against them. So that's what you have to do is just disclose the right
Yeah,
information.
by the way, if you think that I am the bank, you don't understand this game. No. This bank works for me. And the reason it works for me is because I'm a producing loan officer. If you're a non-producing loan officer, you work for the bank because they give you an hourly rate and you have to do what they say and you have to show up at 8 in the morning. You have to be there till 5 and you have to do so many calls and whatever. You work for the bank. But if you're a producing loan officer, every bank wants you. Every bank. Every bank. I can make a phone call and have 10 jobs within an hour.
Bam!
Yeah, but because they pull my numbers, they'd say, hey, you are a producing loan officer, so this bank works for me. As long as they treat my clients well, not me well, my clients well, because I'm building a long game situation, meaning I have to give my clients the best rates, the best programs, all that good stuff. If they treat my clients well, then I'll continue to stay here. The minute they start to hurt my clients, bye. So you have to know that there's a line there. And when I get my client, it is me trying to get a loan with my client, and I have to package it so that the bank takes it. Boom. What do you got?
All right. So, CD Legacy, it's Sam's nephew. He's
I don't
talking
know what that
about
means.
Jerome.
All right, cool. All right.
Tony, 5144, if I sell high, do I buy high?
Are you talking 420? Are you talking 420? I got a buddy of mine who's a realtor who sells high, buys high, drives high, sleeps high.
Dang, I don't even know what that is.
If I sell high, do I have to buy high? Tony, you don't have to do anything. This is America, man. You can do anything you want to. If you sell at a high and you think that the market's going to crash and you're right, then you get to buy low. I don't think so. I think it's going to continue to go up, and I got data to back it up. I could be wrong, but I have data to back it up.
Alpha's back. Jerome Powell is the law person you need to listen to. Same for Alan Greenspan, Bernanke, and Yellen.
Is the law, I think he means last. The law person, unless you're saying...
He changed it to last?
Yep, he changed it to last. So, Jerome Powell, you know what? Back up, what his name is Alpha? Alpha. So, I was around for Greenspan and Bernanke and Yellen and Powell, and they've got a very, very, very difficult job. They don't just get to say, hey, this is what... These guys have to forecast everything. Not one thing, not whether the loan officers are going to be happy or the home buyers are going to be happy. They have to go, okay, there's something going on in Russia, and we could have a problem. Hey, crypto could take over our system. Hey, we could be electrically grid hacked. They got a very, very difficult job. I don't think you could ever do that job perfectly. I don't think you can. But I think you can factor it in and keep the thing right in range. And I do think they're doing an okay job at that. Okay job. And I know it's easy to hate on these guys. It's really easy to hate on these guys. I'll tell you what, when I learned about flying a plane, and I learned that when you're on your way to your destination, you're never directly on path. You're constantly off and correcting, off and correcting, off and correcting. When I understood that concept, and I look at this and I say, hey, ultimately they're going to land at this airport. But in the meantime, they're going to be off path, off path, off path, off path, off path. But we're going to land at that airport at 2.5%. So I understand that concept.
It's kind of like this show.
Yeah, I know where we're headed. Who knows where we're headed?
Stevie Wonder.
What? You can't see this.
What? he's listening.
Okay, good.
I'm in Miami. No Stevie Wonder. 155,000, no debt, 700 score. What could I afford? You don't make 155,000, Stevie Wonder. You got millions.
Yeah, Stevie Wonder makes some. Stevie Wonder don't gotta do nothing. He can't even see his millions. He's got so many millions. See how fast that was?
That was funny.
That was
Yeah, sometimes you're funny. It's not often, but sometimes you're funny.
Yeah, you're probably cracking 600 G's. Somewhere in that range, 600 G's. Depends on your property tax base and your insurance. Those are two things. No HOA, can't have an HOA, can't have an HOA.
GUI 2461. How much of the house's equity percentage can I use in a HELOC if the house was purchased under a year?
So most of them are 80%. I think I seen one way 85%.
Yeah, that's about it.
But 80%. So you have to take Whatever your house fair market value minus your note, then drop 10 G's for fees, and whatever's left, probably can get that out.
Yep. Lucinda said mom's house in reverse. I'm assuming reverse mortgage.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
25144. If I sell high, do I buy high? We already
I think
answered
we did that one,
one.
yeah.
CD Legacy, will USD allow me to buy acreage with 3 mobile homes on it?
Probably not. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, USDA is a very unique program. The house has to qualify before the borrower. It's easy. Go to USDA.gov, put the address in. If it gives you a green or a thumbs up, you're good for USDA loan. Then we send you through the GUS underwriting system. It's a special underwriting system.
Yeah, there you go. Hustle pretty boss. All right. 1 month late on mortgage. How to repound off this?
Okay. Hustle pretty boss. I like that. Hustle pretty boss.
A little different.
Yeah. So, hustle pretty boss. One late is it on a mortgage. If you're trying to get another mortgage, it hurts. I'm not gonna lie. In the last 12 months, it hurts. It's not debilitating or disqualifying, but it does hurt. It hurts if it's in the last 12 months. If you have 2 mortgage lates, it's off. It's done. If I pull somebody's credit and I see 2 mortgage lates in the last 12 months, doesn't matter what we're doing, because what you've proven is somebody will lend you money for a mortgage and you won't pay them on time. That's what you've proven. Now, if it's over 12 months ago, it doesn't hurt as much. It hurts, but not as much. If you have 2 in the last 5 years, it hurts, but not as much. So, there are some things you can do, but they're pretty tough. Like you can call your servicer, your bank, your creditor, and say, hey, listen, this is the reason, and this is not supposed to be, or whatever. And sometimes, rarely, but sometimes, they'll correct it. And then they'll say, hey, yeah, we like you as a customer. That all makes sense. I've seen it happen when there was tech issues. A lot of people don't know this, but Mr. Cooper got hacked a little while back, one of the biggest servicers in the country. And some people got erroneous 30-day lates, and I've seen them corrected off of that situation. But mostly, they stand by it. And you just got to get through it and then learn the lesson. Don't be 30 days late.
Yeah.
Not on a mortgage.
Yeah. Right. Here we go. Sean, Whoville, Sean, D-Sharp, Bree.
Wait,
Fennec,
back up. Whoville has been firing at us for days. He just now followed us.
Whoville.
Yeah, but he's
my
not,
homie.
But he just followed us just now. How can he not have been following us for so long?
Oh, I don't know.
Whoville.
You
Dude,
can say that about Sean and Bree and all of them, man.
All right.
All
We appreciate
Dude,
you guys.
I got
We
much
do.
love for these
We
people.
do appreciate you. We appreciate you.
Bree, Tasha, Meta,
got a
Cowboy.
lot of
Thank you
followers
all
today,
for
man.
the love.
I appreciate
All
you.
of you. Whoville hater. Should I buy a car right after closing on a house?
Whoville, you do whatever you want to after closing on that house. It's easier. It's easy to get a car.
Yep.
It's pretty darn easy to get a car. I would say do it responsibly, and if you're smart enough to not do it, don't do it before you get the house. Here's the problem we run into. I'm like, hey, got a brand new 21-year-old kid. He's a lineman in California. Makes $140,000 a year. I'm like, holy smokes, you make $140,000? He goes, yes, sir. It's dangerous work, but I make a lot of money. All right, that's awesome. Love to hear that. Great. Let me pull your credit. What is this $1,800 payment? Oh, that's my Raptor, sir. You want to see it? It's a really nice Raptor. It's a really nice Raptor. And I'm like, oh. Yeah, I do want to see it. I mean, be honest.
Of course I do.
I'm going to be honest.
Of course I
But
do.
it really hurts you for buying. It hurts you a lot. Now, if you'd have bought the house before you bought the Raptor, buy a lot more house.
Hell yeah. Chandler Nay. Hey guys, long time no see.
What's up, Chandler Nay? Great to see you.
All right, Tasa GG. Can you qualify for a house with student debt on an IBR?
What's
Is
an
that some
IBR?
kind of- is that a payment program?
Yeah, I don't know what an IB student
Tasha,
debt on
let us know what IBR is.
interest bearing. I don't know. I'm not
So
going to
let's
guess.
pretend that IBR doesn't exist, student loan debt.
Yeah, student loan debt, no worries. Yeah, we do it every day. A lot of people have student loan. I'd say
Lot of
60% of the people I pull credit on have student loan debt. There's different ways to deal with it. There's 1% rule. There's the 0.5% rule. There's the reporting rule. Depends on which loan we're going with, and a few other things.
Yeah. So Frednick backs Chapter 7 bankruptcy 6 years ago. Kept the house with a current mortgage, not reporting on credit report. We addressed this yesterday.
Frederick, he's in real estate. He's in real estate. He's in real estate. He's in real estate.
I know.
Okay, so here's what happens.
He's still a first-time homebuyer.
This is what happens, okay? You go, hey, I'm done with this system. I hate it. I'm just going to wash everything. I'm going to declare Chapter 7. I'm going to, take all my debts, take the credit cards. I don't want to pay nothing. Chapter 7. And then inside of that Chapter 7, your attorney goes, well, let's put the house in there too. And then you go, okay, cool. And they're like, okay, cool, but you're going to lose your house. Oh, wait a minute, I don't want to lose my house. Okay, so just keep making the payments. All right, so you keep making the payments. And the mortgage company is like, all right, whatever, make the payments. You're like, oh, whatever, I have a house to live. It's perfect. It works out. Beautiful, beautiful. But you know what your attorney did not do? It's called reaffirming the loan. You need to reaffirm the loan. You need to go, hey, mortgage company, I know I originally said in Chapter 7, you're in there. So legally, I probably don't have to pay you, and legally you'll take the house. And there's a lot of stuff going on, but I have been paying you. And I've been paying you on time. And because you did not reaffirm the loan, it doesn't show up on your credit report. Is that a problem? Yeah, it's a big problem. Why? Because you kind of slid in those cracks where you're like, hey, I could walk away from this loan, but I'm not. I could. Legally, I could. Legally, I could. The right way to have done this is to go, hey, Mr. Attorney, I am not going to walk away. I am still willing to be 100% liable for this mortgage. The attorney goes, well, Mr. Client, no problem at all. I will just file the paperwork with the court to reaffirm the loan. The bank will acknowledge the reaffirmation, and now it's a back on your credit. But a lot of people think in the back of their mind, they're like, I'd like the ability to walk away, but I'd like the ability to keep the house. Sounds like the best of both worlds. It is, until you need it to be reporting. And then it becomes a big problem. We have to get it reaffirmed in order to report it. I can pull a VOM, and there's a tiny chance I can get it to work. Tiny. But mostly they want it reaffirmed.
And yes, you're still a first-time home buyer, as long as you haven't bought a house. Chandler Nay, if I extend my card loan to reduce my payment for DTI, will it negatively affect my home loan?
Probably not. Probably good.
Better.
It'll probably be better for you. Because if you extend your car loan, your payment's going to go down. As long as you've made the payments on time, now your debt-to-income ratio is better, your monthly liabilities are lower, and the length of time doesn't matter.
Yeah. Tony, when buying a home, can I buy down payment interest rate points? Yes. The answer is yes. The question is, are you going to want to? Okay? Because there's a refinance coming down the road. Interest rates are going to drop. Down the road could be a couple years, I'm being honest. But it is coming. So factor it this way. To get a really better rate that's going to make a payment change, a significant payment change, it's going to cost a lot of money. Let's just call it 10 grand, okay? So if you give the payment difference between the buy down and what your rate would normally be, you'll probably never hit that 10 grand. It'll probably take you 5-8 years to hit that payment difference. So keep that money in your pocket, do the refinance when the time comes, and take that 10 grand and then buy down points. And then by then you're going to get a rock bottom payment that's going to be make you very happy, and it's going to be affordable.
And take a look at this chart, because you're going to need to know when the time to refinance. The time to refinance is going to be end of 26, beginning of 27, according to this guy, Jerome Powell.
That's on an FHA loan. That's exactly what I was referencing, Tony. Yep. FU TikTok, 580. What's the interest rate?
580. What's the interest rate? FU TikTok.
I actually did one this morning.
Did you?
Did one just this
580? 580?
Yeah.
Okay, what we got?
7.625.
7.62. Man, that's
on
rough.
an FHA. On an
that's
FHA.
rough, but that's because you're 580.
Yeah. Well, if you're
that 580
conventional,
hurts. That 580 hurts. That is not your quote, FU TikTok. The only way for us to get your quote is pull your credit, your income, calculate your assets. He's just telling you about a file he did today.
Patricia R., first-time buyer in Texas.
Love Texas. Love first-time home buyers.
Eslito Cal Magazine. My dad grant deed his house to me years ago. He paid $13,000 back in '75. Effing A. It's appraised at $235,000. About how much in taxes we'll have to pay if I sell.
Okay, Estelio Calif Magazine. All right, cool. So I'm not gonna say that again because it's a tongue twister. Yeah. So there's something called a tax basis. Okay. So tax basis is how much did you pay for it? Then there's an appreciation. Then there's a transfer or an adjusted tax basis. There's a lot of math going on here. because if he deeded it to you through a living trust and then passed not that long ago, your tax liability may not be big. However, if it got fully deeded, you might have a new assessed value or a tax basis for it to go. Now, I am not your CPA. I am not your accountant. You need to talk to your accountant. But these are just basic information, and you should have a very good accountant for this, because that could be a lot.
All right, dude, you know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's rapid fire time. But before that, it's time for a commercial.
If you need a badass loan, call Badass Loan Officer. You can reach your badass loan officers, Chris and Lee, at New American Funding by dialing the numbers on the screen. But don't dial it right now, because both of our phones are being used to go live on TikTok and Instagram. We are also live on Facebook and YouTube right now. But don't dial it right now. Dial it in about maybe 10 minutes, because we're about to rapid fire, which means we're going to answer all your questions, and then you can talk to us. Bye.
Boom. All right, Fennec. Let's start with Fennec. Remember, we got to piggyback on the last question. FHA, what about a 2-year rule for foreclosure?
For foreclosure, the 2-year FHA rule, the 2-year is not for foreclosure. It is for bankruptcy. If you went bankrupt, if you went BK7, then the guideline says 2 years after discharge dates. 2 years and 1 month, I think it says. 2 years and 1 month. After discharge date, I can do an FHA loan. But if you had a foreclosure, that means somebody trusted you to buy a house and you let it go. They strengthen the guideline at that point. 4 years, 3 years, 3 years, 3 years, 3 years on FHA.
Chandler Lane, Patricia, same. Okay, Sarah
cool.
Royal, best place for home equity reverse mortgage.
Right here. Call us.
Boom.
We shop it. We'll get you a good one.
Sam, how can I buy first house?
Easy. You call us or text us and we'll start it. Or you can go to the links at the top of our bio. Start the application. We'll get you going.
Tony, 790 FICO, 100K down, 210K salary. What can I afford looking to sell current home?
210K salary. You're
100K down.
100K down? Well, what you can afford, I'll tell you that your loan amount is probably in the 900 range. You're probably busting $1 million. I mean, you're right on the edge of busting $1 million. If you're going to put that much down, you're busting $1 million. If you're going to do 100K down, that's 10% down, all the loan packages will look at you very favorably. And by the way, $1 million sounds like a lot of money. In LA, it's a shack. In New York, it's a shack. In Miami, shack. Where else? San Diego, shack. San Francisco,
Chicago,
shack. But if you go into Mississippi, Tennessee, Arkansas,
Kansas,
mansion.
Even
Mansion.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania. Mansion. Yeah. Mansion. Next.
Capacity, capital, collateral, and credit. That's the answer for Whoville. FU, who you would kiss.
Check that out. You knew, man. You knew. Whoville hater, man. We love that shit.
Sam, how much interest going on?
How much? There's a bunch of it going on, man. There's a lot of interest. I'm interested in a lot of things.
Melissa, how long does it take to get approved VA mortgage loan? Is it a letter sent to us?
Okay, so Melissa, if you gave me all the documents today, I could probably have you qualified within 24 hours. Probably within 24 hours. If you told me it's urgent and I want to put a house, I want to put an offer in tonight, I could probably do it in 2 hours. Probably 2 hours. If you want the letter sent to you, I will send it to you, but it won't make any sense. It's going to say desktop underwriter, approve eligible. It's going to have a whole bunch of numbers, and I will send it to you. I also send a pre-qual letter to you. And the person I should be sending it to is your realtor. But because I like you so much, I'm going to give you the pre-qual and then immediately send you for a TBD underwrite. What's a TBD underwrite, Lee? That means that you're going to be fully underwritten, so you're going to be able to offer stronger than anybody out there. And Melissa, we're actually going to get you the house that you want.
You know this is rapid fire, right?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Cowboy, how much income for a $500,000 condo in California?
In Cali, the condo, because of the HOA fees, I'm going to say 120 at the best case scenario ever. But you're probably going to be 140, 150, 160, 170, 180. Your HOA kills you on condos. Yep.
JY crying, laughing.
All right, cool.
Is it a good time to become a loan officer?
No, absolutely not. And the greatest.
FU TikTok, FHA high income, question mark?
Your
FHA with high income.
So income, it doesn't, yes, you can do FHA with high income. There are some programs that are AMI, that's area median income, but FHA is not area median income.
Okay. You can't get to $1 million in certain areas with FHA.
Yep.
Whoville Hater, can you tell me 1031 exchange affects your underwriting?
You better really know what you're doing if you're doing the 1031 because
Not underwriting you're worried about.
yeah, it's not underwriting you're worried about because you're transferring an asset for another like type asset and you are able to get a lot of really good benefits, but if you do it wrong, it'll hurt you. We need to talk later.
Ground
Whoville
Cliff.
Hater. FHA versus VA loan. Any input? If you have the ability to do a VA loan over an FHA loan, VA all day, every day, no question about it. It's the best loan in the system. There's only one downside to a VA loan. That's the VA funding fee. And if you're service connected at 10% or greater, I can get that waived. I prefer a VA loan, but not everybody can do a VA loan. Only 9% of America are veterans. 9%. But for those veterans, we want to do the VA loan.
D Shepherd, how much cab I afford if I make $70K a year, 800 credit score, and $5K in debt? How much can I afford?
Can 75K a year? You're probably cracking 310, 320, 330, 340, somewhere in that range.
Yeah. Cowboy Cliff, VA loan is no down payment for you, right? Yeah. Yes. VA has zero down
Everybody, that's for everybody. That's not for one person. That's not for one lender. That's the VA guideline, zero down.
Yeah. Whoville Hater, hey, I'm a pilot also.
I appreciate you, Whoville Hater. I hope my analogy is correct. I've only taken a few flying lessons. If it's incorrect, correct me. I love it.
FU TikTok, this dude talk. He's not saying much.
I love this dude. FU TikTok, one of my favorites.
Chandler Nay, depends on your monthly payment for the AK. I don't know what they're talking about.
I mean,
what they're talking about. Olivia, if I'm making $41,000 annual, how much can I get approved for?
41, you're probably cracking 170, 180, somewhere like that.
FU TikTok, where is he reading from?
I have no idea.
User 6213, what fees will builder pay regardless if I use lender or my own to buy a new house?
User 6213. There is no guarantee with the builder. The builder has they kind of run the show and they want to run the show. They make a lot of money. If you want to know how much money, you have to tune into another episode because I do not have the time to do that. So, we done? Are we done?
we're done.
You know what? We appreciate you guys. We've been Chris and Lee. We are out.